So you are wondering why your emotions are so darn important to your manifestations. I'm going to give you a little crash course on exactly why that is. So as Abraham has taught us for the last 20 or 30 years, our emotions are our guidance system communicating where we are in relationship to where our soul, our inner being, our source is. So let's do a little judgment or a little picturesque example of that. Our inner being is this gigantic, we'll call it everything that we could ever want and every desire, our vibrational escrow. It is everything that we've asked for through the contrast of living our lives. So you can only imagine you've lived a lot of contrast, you've had a lot of negative experiences, you have a lot of desires in this vibrational escrow. So the law of attraction, not the law of attraction, your inner being is this humongous, beautiful, happy person with a little tiny body. And you, dear beautiful human, are this littler version of this. Doo-doo-doo. Being a happy person with a little tiny body. Now, what happens is we have these emotions. We'll label them from 1 to 7, all the way down to 22. 22 we can call depression, despair. Now these are all Abraham's teachings, so these are not mine. So if you are wondering where these came from, you got to watch some more Abraham material. Abraham Hicks. 7 is contentment, if you can read that. And then number 1 is joy, gratitude, love. Number 8, I believe, is pessimism. And then we have this whole bridge in between here. Okay? So we've got these emotions. When you, human, beautiful human you, is feeling, let's say 15. I don't know, let's just say anger. You're feeling anger down here. What this means is that your beautiful soul, who is always residing, always in this state, our soul never moves. Whoa, I just went off camera. Hey, our soul never moves from love, from joy, from gratitude. That is where our soul exists permanently, because our soul does not experience the contrast of this life, has no reason to have this fluctuation of emotion. Part of the reason why we're human is to experience the beauty of this emotion. That's why there's no reason to really get lost too much in this and incorporate some more Buddhist practices, because these are part of the beautiful reason that you're here. Anyways, that's a tangent. But when you find yourself in anger, what does that mean? It means that you now are just thinking a thought that is keeping you this distant, this from your inner being. So that's just a thought. I can say to this camera, and you can be listening, and I can say, truly, how beautiful, how smart, how articulate, how kind, how compassionate, how worthy you are. And when I say that, you feel something really deep within you, and you can feel your energy pull up, right? You can feel that if you're honest with yourself. Or I can say to this camera, you are a piece of garbage. You're worthless. Nobody's ever going to love you. You're stupid. And what's going to happen? You're immediately going to feel yourself pulled down. Why? I just said a few words, but those words caused you to have a thought. You followed along with the thought that I put in your head. And so, you can change your vibrational frequency. These are all frequency ranges. We can call this like 110 I don't even know, by hertz or something. Hertz. Or we can call this 7 hertz in despair. 7. Oh, that's not a 7. Hertz. Right? So you're on this vibrational frequency. And if your soul, and if God, and if spirit is always, always in love, gratitude, and joy, because they see the whole picture. They are at the mountain peak. They're never coming down with you. It's your job to work yourself up. Does this make sense? I hope it does. So, what our job is to get into this state. This is that 1 through 7 is our allowing state. Allowing. Meaning you are now, I'll keep going off camera, I'm sorry. You are now allowing all the desires that you want, that you've asked for, into your experience when you are in these emotions. So we could call them, we could say optimistic, hopeful, happy. I actually don't know the rest of them, but anything that feels good, right? This range is our allowing state. Now we have our below pessimism state, or boredom. I think contentment and boredom are kind of in the same one. Maybe pessimism. You'll have to look it up. I'll put it on the screen somewhere. But we have our resistant. These are all resistant emotions, meaning that when we are feeling these emotions, the things that we are asking for cannot show up into our experience. We are going, just because we're on 110 hertz or 7 hertz, you are going to get thoughts, situations, circumstances, and people that match where you are on any one of these emotions. Despair, anger. Or if you work yourself up, you're going to get the same thing. Circumstances, situations, interactions with people that are on this frequency range. I hope that makes sense. So you are playing this game constantly, and you're playing it with the thoughts you are thinking. You can change your thought rate now. You can say something to yourself, and you may have a belief that is stronger than your thought, and so your belief may cause this dissonant feeling within you where you'll say, I'm smart, right? Affirmations sometimes can work. But if you're down in despair and you start saying, I love everyone. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm grateful for, you can work yourself up, but there's no way you're actually going to feel true gratitude. It's too far of a distance. 7 to 110, you're too far away. But you can go from despair to anger to frustration, right? To annoyance, to, I don't know what's above that, to pessimism, and just work yourself up. But the point of this is not focusing on what these emotions are, it's focusing on feeling the emotion rising. So you want to feel that emotion rising in your body, honestly, authentically. And then when you feel that and you truly feel content and you go, I'm just happy. I'm just content. I'm fine right where I am. And you truly feel that in your heart? Beautiful. You are in an allowing state. Now, I think the only other thing we have to talk about is each one of these emotions demonstrates how important something is to you. What do I mean by that? I mean, when you, let's say you have just been diagnosed with cancer. I know that personally because I got diagnosed twice. And you feel despair. What that's saying is that you have a very, very strong rocket of desire. Little you has just gone from 0 to 100. There's a very strong rocket, right? But little you cannot, sad face, break free of the thoughts that are overwhelming your mind right now. the deep negative emotion means that you want so badly, there's so much desire that you want so badly to be right here. I missed that. But you keep paying attention to having cancer. You are not allowing yourself to dream or to play the game in your own mind to bring you up to where your soul already is, to where you're healing. You'll come into situations, circumstances, you'll meet with people that will help you regain the healing, the health of your body. Same happens when you're feeling joy, gratitude, love. That means in that moment you are in absolute alignment with that big desire. Bigger desire, let's write that. Bigger desire equals stronger emotion. When you have a lot of desire, something severe is happening. You have no money. You don't have a house to live in. Your health is terrible. Your relationship is suffering, or you're lonely and you don't have anyone. The more you pay attention, this is a tricky one too. The more you pay attention to what is happening, your current reality, when you have that deep desire, I want to be with my perfect person. Your soul is already up there living in that perfect reality, and you have a huge desire to be there, but you keep paying attention to where you are. Guess what? You're gonna feel that despair. The trick is working yourself up or taking your hands off and letting go. Right? Meditating. That is such a beautiful way to just let go. Take your hands off and trust that your soul, that the universe, that spirit, that the divine, that God wants what you want. What you seek is seeking you. Keep telling yourself that. Write it down 1,000,000 times. What you seek is seeking you. When you truly believe that and you take your hands off, you'll be like, this is Abraham's analogy. You're a cork bobbing along in the water, right? We have some water. Some water. That's not water. Choo, 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 choo. And what you're doing is you're a cork and you're pushing yourself down, holding yourself down. And this little cork wants to come up. This little cork, boop, 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 boop. That's cork, wants to come up, but you're submerging it with your thoughts. All you have to do is let go, and what does the cork do? Naturally pops back up in the water. You have to let yourself have a little faith and have a little trust that the universe wants what you want, that you're supposed to have what it is that you desire, that you're supposed to have the health, the wealth, the relationship, all of the things. That's why you're a human being. Your emotions are just telling you where you are in relationship to that. And so this is the beauty of it, right? There's a saying that I really love that I heard from my friend Kristen. You got to feel it to heal it. You have to be authentic with these emotions when they're happening, because without being truly authentic with understanding your emotions, you can't possibly change the thought to get upward. Even if you just experience two emotions, happy and sad, or happy and angry, which is it's impossible. I don't know if it's impossible. Maybe it is possible. But if you only had two emotions and one felt good and one felt bad, as long as you were working yourself up into feeling good, the good feeling, then you are on your way to manifesting all the things that you've wanted. But if all of your stuff is hanging out right here with your inner being, the closer you get to that, truly, not falsely, truly getting there, the faster you're going to have your stuff. If you're hanging out in contentment, You don't have a lot of strong pull, so it'll show up eventually. You just don't know how long it's going to take with the time gap. So, these are your emotions, and this is why it's important for your manifesting. My advice, my ending advice is just play with this, be mindful. There's no rush to any of it. And there's a time gap, right? You're not going to instantly manifest some terrible situation because you feel despair. You're already feeling that way, and you're already telling yourself a story in your own mind about how bad your situation currently is. But you will keep getting situations like that when you're in that kind of feeling. Everything's going to feel bad to you. But if you're in pessimism or a little bit of boredom, if you're bored, you don't have a lot of pulling power. So just keep finding games. There's plenty of games, like in Abraham's book, Ask and It Is Given, that you can work yourself up. Listen to beautiful music that'll calm you down. Watch a funny movie. Go for a walk in nature. Go swimming. Exercise. There are tons of things that you can do to just naturally let your vibration move up. The ones I just gave you are probably the best ones. Meditating, walking in nature, exercising, listening to beautiful music, petting your animal, and finding just one thing to be grateful for. If you don't have a lot, find one thing. If that's the ears to have listened to this, then that's that. The eyes to have seen that, then that's something to be grateful for. That your heart is beating in a nice rhythm, in a perfect rhythm all day long, 100,000 times a day, that's amazing. Or that you're taking 20,000 breaths a day and your lungs are extracting the oxygen and releasing the CO2 and this exchange of gases. Find something to be grateful for. It doesn't have to be on the topic that you want. It just has to be anything. If you have terrible health, and you have a little bit of money, say, I'm grateful. Wake up every morning and every night and all throughout the day in between and just say, I'm grateful I have enough money in my bank account to have a nice home and a nice car, that I have food in my fridge. I'm grateful for the people that worked on these roads today. I'm grateful that I can breathe today. If you have a terrible relationship, do the same, but focus on your health. If you have no money, focus on your relationship or your health. Find something, just one thing to be grateful for. That's all you have to do. And take your time with this. This is your guide to your manifestation. Your emotions are telling you how close you are. And I want you to be there. And you've attracted this video. So I want you to keep moving with it. I want you just to keep developing that emotional intelligence, being mindful, taking the time to meditate 10 to 20 minutes a day, and to just be self-reflective. Turn off your phones. After you watch this, of course, turn it off and go do something for yourself inwardly. All right? Thank you guys for watching. If you like this, subscribe, do all this stuff. Like it, give me your feedback, comment. If I missed something, I'm sure I did. Give me some comments and I'll do some more videos on it too. And I look forward to talking to you next time. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I love you and I will see you next time. Bye. All right, that's it.